Collinsville. My name is Gracie Griggs, and I am reporting from the CPN News Law for the very first time. We are very excited to have this new space to expand our content on Panther Network, and we are very grateful for the support that we have received from many organizations and individuals to make this space possible. Today I have the pleasure of interviewing our very own State Representative Ginny Shaver. Thank you, Ms. Shaver, for joining us today.
Well, thank you, Gracie, for having me. I'm just honored to be here and to be your first interview.
Today we have a few questions that were submitted by our students at Collinsville. Can you describe your experience as a state legislature?
Yes, in a word, I would say it's been very busy, and I enjoy it very much. I don't like to be bored, and so I never am. There's always something to do, whether it's in Montgomery with my duties as a legislator or at home, just helping with projects and helping people with their issues. Sometimes I'm the only person from the government that people have access to, and when they need help, they don't know where to turn. I may not be the person that can solve their problem, but generally I'll know who to refer them to so that they can get the help they need. I enjoy people and solving problems and helping people, and so I really do enjoy the work and the service.
Ms. Shaver, can you describe how the legislative session works?
Sure. The legislature actually meets for 30 days. That seems like a short amount of time, but it's spread over 15 weeks. Those 30 days have to take place within 105 calendar days. So typically, once the session starts, we will have those session days on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then committee meetings on the other days. So we're about to start the session on February the 6th. We're having meetings now, getting ready, to begin the work. So when it actually starts, in a session, we'll have over 1,000 bills introduced over the period of the session, but we generally only pass about 300 bills.
Could you preview the legislative session coming up in February, specifically anything that might affect schools or children in Alabama?
Sure. Actually, we are gearing up and getting ready to get the session started. I checked the website last night, and actually only 72 bills have been introduced so far. So I really don't know what other legislators are bringing up, but as far as what might affect students and children, I do think that a bill of some sort, don't know which one yet, concerning school choice, will make it to the floor. So I know that's a much talked about issue, and I do think that we'll see something along those lines this session.
Can you tell us about your passion projects in the legislature, specifically anything that you're particularly proud of?
Yes, this is my second term, and I've worked on some issues multiple years. Things do not always get passed the first time. It takes a lot of work and perseverance to get some things done. Government moves very slowly. Last year was a really big year as far as legislation being passed for me. I had 3 big items that I'd worked on multiple years to be passed. I'm very pro-life and work to help provide alternatives to help babies be placed for adoption, and that process to move faster and better. And so I worked as a part of a committee, and we totally rewrote the code on adoption to make it more user-friendly and to get babies in need of placement in a permanent home as soon as possible. So that one was really big. Number 2, of course, we have Weiss Lake in Cherokee County, and boating issues. I found out that it was a misdemeanor, a criminal misdemeanor, to get a ticket on a boat, which is not the same as in a car. So we rewrote the entire code on boating violations to have them be violations just like a traffic ticket, instead of a criminal misdemeanor that might show up on someone's record. Mm-hmm. So there was that, and also I'm very pro-law enforcement and support our law enforcement, and I passed a bill to make it a felony in certain circumstances to flee from the police. Being on border counties like we are in DeKalb and Cherokee counties, we have a lot of instances of people attempting to elude police, thinking if they make it to the state line that they're free. But it was only a misdemeanor, so just kind of a slap on the wrist sort of thing. So in certain circumstances, it's now a felony. So those were three big ticket items that were laws passed last year.
That's great. What would you say to young women interested in serving in government?
I would like to take this opportunity to encourage young women who are interested to get involved and learn more about the process and hopefully plan to run for office and be involved in public service. Actually, there's out of 105 members in the House of Representatives, there's only 20 women. But women make up over half of the population, so we are seriously underrepresented in our legislature. And out of 35 senators, there's only 4 women serving in the Senate. And now these are the highest numbers we have ever had. And I do like to encourage women to get involved. I was encouraged by a teacher that I had in high school, and she was the 4th woman elected to the Alabama legislature. And then I had her as a teacher. So, you know, at that time I did not aspire to it, but the things that she instilled in me about being a good citizen led to me running for office. So, yes, ladies, get involved.
What is a bill that you will sponsor in the upcoming session?
Well, I'm working on a couple of things. One in particular concerns enhancing the benefits for state employees when it comes to leave time when they have a baby or adopt a child. And another is another boating law that would require people who come here from out of state and boat on our lakes and rivers, that they should be following the same laws and have the same regulations as Alabamians. So those are 2 things, maybe some more.
Governor Ivey has said that her top priority is creating educational savings account. What is your position on ESAs?
I know the governor's office has been working on education savings accounts, which may be one of the pieces of legislation that I mentioned about school choice. Things sound good in concept, but I still have questions about how it would actually be implemented. I have concerns. I do not want to do anything that would put public funding for schools, for public schools, in danger. So we'll see what the details are, but I think chances are good. I just think there needs to be some accountability, that people are actually using those funds, for their child's education and not just keeping them at home and, pocketing the money. So I think there needs to be some accountability with that. So we'll see.
The grocery tax was deducted by 1 penny last year. Do you think we'll see another deduction in the upcoming year?
I sure hope so. The legislation that would allow it to do so requires that the Education Trust Fund grow at least 3.5% for that to kick in. There is the data that we're seeing so far is showing that our growth in the Education Trust Fund has not been as high as in the previous year. But it's too early to tell. But I do hope that it'll continue to grow so that we can take that tax off and help everybody as they, try to feed their families. It's a good thing.
What is the state of the Educational Trust Fund, and what additional spending might we expect?
The Education Trust Fund is healthy and good. As I mentioned earlier, the revenues are not growing as fast as they did this time last year, but it's not in danger or anything like that. I mean, the budget for fiscal year 24 was $8.8 billion, wow. Billion with a B, versus the General Trust Fund, which pays for everything else, all the other state agencies, was $3 billion. So we spend almost $9 billion on education and then $3 billion for everything else. So I think it will continue to be healthy. We've taken very conservative measures to save money for a rainy day, and as now the COVID money has all run out, we've had those all appropriations in the past. So last year we did not have any appropriations from the technology funds. So I do think that there will be some appropriations from the advancement in technology funding. I think we'll see some of that, and maybe some additional supplemental, because last year we had $2 billion in a supplemental budget, so I think there will be another supplemental budget from the Education Trust Fund as well.
A major paving project was just completed in your district, marking the completion of all 411 being a 4-lane. What other infrastructure projects do you expect to begin construction in 2024 or 2025?
Yes, we were very happy to see that Highway 411 4-laning project to be completed from Etowah into Cherokee County. That was a long time coming. And just as DeKalb County is so blessed to have an interstate running through the county, that helps so much with industry and economic development, with business and tourism, and just people passing through. It's such an economic driver. Cherokee County was one of 16 counties that we do not have an interstate, but we did not even have 4-lane access to interstate. So that does give it first time 4-lane access to interstate, which is huge. Along those lines, the continuation of rebuilding Interstate 59 that runs through DeKalb County, that's been done in different projects, but to complete the whole, that's ongoing and very, very costly, but we're very thankful to have that redone. But I have kind of an announcement today, because you'll be most interested that one of the projects that was just let for bidding is Highway 11 that runs right in front of the school. So from the Etowah County line up to Likes Lane, which is past the nursing home, is scheduled to be resurfaced.
That's great news.
So that's next, and you heard it here first, folks.
Could you list a few items that you believe will be major topics the legislature will address this session?
Yes, some issues that have been worked on in the off time. Workforce participation is a big issue that we're trying to solve, because we've done a lot of work in the state to entice industry and business to come to Alabama and provide jobs. And currently, for every 100 jobs that are available, there's only 57 people out of that 100 in the workforce that are willing to take those jobs. So we're looking at the issues that keep people out of the workforce and trying to solve those, to encourage people to get a job and to be employed and help themselves and help our state. So I think we'll see some legislation along those lines, including one of the major obstacles to people being involved in the workforce is child care. Having enough child care options locally, and also with the cost. So, we're looking at incentivizing businesses and industries to provide child care for their employees through tax credits, that we could help them make that provision so that people will be able to work and solve that problem of child care. So I think those are issues that we'll be seeing and hearing about in the session.
We enjoy having you visit in Collinsville, and we know that you get to visit many places in the state, but can you tell us a few things that may be unique about Collinsville?
Well, I love Collinsville. It's just right over the mountain from my house, and the thing that I love most about Collinsville is the people. It really is a friendly little town, and it's just cute. I mean, the main street, I just love it. It's so retro. I like history, I like old buildings, and we have the Cricket Theater and the museum and the library and mom and pop businesses, and just the people. That's the thing that I like the most.
That's a great compliment. Thank you. We want to thank Ms. Shaver for joining us and answering all of our questions. Make sure to like and subscribe to CPN to keep up with all of our latest content.